Right, buddy, in this video we'll be ranking every single Premier League left winger. We've got 20 wingers to go through. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Don't forget, drop a like, comment. And again, there's going to be some controversial takes, but we're going to start off with Brentford's Kevin Shard, and immediately I'm putting him in B. I think if I look at a winger that, will chip in with maybe 10, 12, maybe 15 goals a season. Brentford, I think, is a very good level. Again, very, very inconsistent. We'll go through patches where he's scoring a lot of goals, but then they go through patches where you're not hearing about him for a very long time. I think he's an alright footballer, again, for Brentford. But yeah, nothing more than that, to be honest with you. Garnacho, for me, is going in D. I think is a big, big opportunity and a big test for him now at Aston Villa to see what he can really do. I think if I'm looking at a player with Garnacho who definitely does have qualities, he's proven at United, briefly at Chelsea in the season that he was there. But if you look at, being at Chelsea for a season and then getting sent out on loan already isn't the greatest sign. I think towards the end of his career at United kind of did go downhill. With all the things saying in the media and him talking about how he should have started the Europa League final and the ego that he has. I think, he is still young. Maybe Unai Emery and this Aston Villa move will be an opportunity to get the best out of him in a team that, effectively is replacing Morgan Rogers. I think he is a decent footballer. Let's see how he can prove it at Aston Villa. Emery's a very, very good manager. The way that, Villa play will probably suit his style, but I just don't think over the last years he's been that great as a footballer, to be honest with you. The talent's certainly there. Going into this season, again, he does really need a big season and then see what happens from there, to be honest with you. But yeah, for me right now, he goes in D. Justin Kluivert for me goes in C. I think Justin Kluivert is very inconsistent. I think if you're looking at a player, who again not a guaranteed starter for Bournemouth. I think now with obviously them losing Semenyo, Krupa Jr. being out for a very long time, he probably will get some more minutes. And again, there's an opportunity for him to get some goals and really solidify his spot in this Bournemouth team. I think he is a decent player. Don't get me wrong, but for me, he just ranks at C now. Solis obviously just signed for Arsenal. If you look at his stats at Club Brugge last season, 52 games, 22 goals, 29 assists. Now, bearing that in mind, that is obviously in the Belgian league. However, I think at Arsenal, he's only played, I think he's played 2 or 3 games, pre-season games, got a couple assists in there. I think he definitely is a good player, 24 years of age, comes in with a lot of talent. A new left winger for them, effectively replacing Trossard. A lot of people have described him as like a younger Trossard. I think the potential is definitely there. You can see how he does this season in the Premier League, how many minutes he gets. Is he going to be ahead of Martinelli? Obviously, he is that new left winger signing now with obviously not being able to bring in Martinelli. I think if you're looking at a guy that, there won't be a lot of pressure on him because, you have Eze, you have Martinelli there, you have Saka, you have Gyökeres, Havertz. But again, he's going to want to hit the ground running. I don't know how much he actually cost Arsenal, but again, definitely coming in with a lot of potential. I think he's going to be a top player for Arsenal from the bits that I've seen of him already. But for now, I'll put him in C. I think he can definitely get better. See how the season goes. Now, I think that's Coventry's winger. Going to put him in D because I don't know him. Now, Kairi Matoma, I'm putting him in C. There was a couple seasons ago, where he was absolutely unstoppable. And again, it's just gone downhill, whether that's injury, whether that's been, out of form. He's just not the player that, he was previously. Now, if I'm looking at a player, who maybe 22-23 season, he was good, 23-24. But again, if I look at his goal contributions over the last couple of seasons, 4 last season, 15 the season before, 8 and 17. So, very, very inconsistent is Matoma. Yes, obviously he's a very good player. Again, Brighton had a pretty good season last season, but again, he wasn't starting many of the games, and there weren't many games he completed 90 minutes. I think if you're looking at, again, a lot of it being on him now with Welbeck gone, Matoma's the senior player there. He would need to chip in with a few more goals. There's no doubt he can get into positions, and he is capable of a moment of magic, but hasn't delivered enough for the last couple of seasons really at Brighton for the player that we know he is. There was a period where he was linked with big moves away, as a lot of Brighton players are and do tend to go, but he just hasn't been one that's materialised, and that just shows that he probably isn't at that level, as I said, that he was. But we'll see how he does get on this season. Morgan Rogers, now I have to base Morgan Rogers as, again, what we've seen of him so far, watching him in the Premier League. I think it'd be a very good signing for Chelsea, someone that can carry the ball, someone that's, very, very gifted, can score a goal, can create him a chance. Very good, like working back as well and tracking back. And again, on the counter, I think he'd be lethal, especially with Morgan Rogers as well. I think he's a really exciting player. Yes, he cost 117 million, but I think going into this season, ideally, you just want to see what you saw at Aston Villa at Chelsea, and I think he will be able to make that step. It's weird that he has gone to Chelsea. I think, you look at their season last season. However, I think he's a player that will transform that side. His ball carrying ability to score a goal, create a chance, set piece. Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good signing for them. So I'll probably slap him in at B. I think he will have a big impact for them. Iliman Ndiaye for me, A. I think he's a very, very good player. Not maybe your best left winger in the world. However, when you watch him, he excites you. He gets you on your edges. He is capable of a moment of magic and has been pretty good for Everton. Now, he has been linked with moves away to Saudi and other Premier League clubs. But I think Everton do have a superstar there. Someone that can play on the left, someone that can play on the right. Very, very good. Now that Grealish has gone back, I think he will now find himself more on the left-hand side. And I think, someone that, again, Everton will rely on. Barry's a bit inconsistent at striker. They don't really have a technical right winger. Ndiaye is their talisman, the guy that comes up with a big moment for them. And again, if he stays at Everton, I think he'll have a big season for them. Brennan Johnson, have to put him in at C. Now, if you look at the last couple of seasons for him, obviously scored that goal in the Europa League final for Spurs. But other than that, hasn't really done anything else. I think the move to Crystal Palace hasn't been, again, as he hoped it was. I don't think he's a main starter in the team. Looking at, his stats, last season, 34 games, 2 goals, 1 assist is not great, to be honest with you. Obviously, he did join mid-season. But again, across all competitions, he played 48 games and got 6 goal contributions. That's not good enough for Johnson. And again, he did play 19 matches. He started 34 total in the Premier League. It's not great stats from him. Again, with Palace now losing quite a few of their key players, they need someone like Johnson to step up. He hasn't really been great for them, to be honest with you, over the last couple of seasons. Very inconsistent player. We know the quality is there. He just hasn't got it. So let's see what this season brings for him. Hull Cities, I don't know, so we're judging this season. Dyson Meada as well. Kevin, for me, is a C. Left winger, decent for Fulham. Not the greatest, not the worst winger. Someone that, again, does have qualities, capable of a bit of magic. I still think he is so young, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Nonto has to go in C for me again. Very inconsistent. We'll get a few goals for Leeds, but all in all, it's not the greatest winger in my opinion. I think you're looking at what you need from a winger. Got pace. Its end product's not the greatest. Cody Gakpo, I still have to put him in B. As much as Liverpool fans get onto Cody Gakpo's first performances, I think they have been pretty decent, especially over the last, you would say, couple of months. He had a decent World Cup, and again, he's been linked with a move away to Tottenham, who I think it'd actually be a very good signing for. He got 15 contributions last season in 52 games, which again is not great. Last season the season before last, he got 24 in 49. So his time at Liverpool has been a bit iffy, but I think he's actually a decent player. We'll chip him with a few goals. And I think he will be a player who, depending if he stays, will definitely get minutes. If they don't sign Barcola, obviously haven't signed Diamande, there is an intention to sign a left winger, but they haven't signed anyone yet. I think if they do sign one, Cody Gakpo will ultimately get sold, and that will be the new left winger. But as of now, Cody Gakpo is Liverpool's left winger. I think he is overhated, to be honest. Mateus Cunha, again, this is not United bias. Now, he's not the most natural left winger. When you think of left wingers, you don't think of Mateus Cunha. However, you look at his season towards the end for Manchester United, very, very good. Probably didn't start off as well as hoped it was. He's playing in the number 9, in that inside 10, and the Ruben Amorim wasn't really getting the goals, was becoming very frustrated. You can see it, and it comes to a point where everything just started clicking for him. I think it was that Brighton game. And then, under Michael Carrick, he's fantastic. Goal against Arsenal, assist against City, goal against Villa. There were big goals against Chelsea and Liverpool that he did chip in. And 12 goal contributions in the first season is very, very good. And I think making that move to United was a very good move for him. Again, with Rashford coming in now and Dorgu being part of the team, I still think Cunha will be that main winger, someone that does have a lot of trust from Michael Carrick. Very good on the ball, very good defensively as well, which is important. That's something that Rashford didn't do enough on. So Yeah, I think he's someone that I'm very excited to see how he does in the Manchester United shirt next season. First season was good. Let's hope he can do that in the second season. Jeremy Doku will probably be the only S in this video. I really do like Jeremy Doku. If you're looking at a winger that can do everything consistently as well, you know, there was a period for City where he was obviously competing with Jack Grealish, but last season he was the main guy in that team. I think when you watch Doku, he excites you. As I said, he can come up with a moment of magic. Very good goal scorer. They're very good at just getting past his wing, and I think 1v1 he's one of the best. Yes, again, last season, 21 goal contributions in 50 games. But if you look at his impact on the team, really impressive. Bearing in mind, he's only been at City for 3 seasons. I thought he's been there way longer than that. Very good wing. I think he will do well under Maresca. Again, pace, quality, technical ability, 1v1. Yeah, I think he's all round a very, very good winger. Now, Hudson-Odoi, I think you have to put him in at B. Decent player, you know, being at Chelsea, obviously, last couple of seasons at Forest. He's done alright, chipped in with a few goals and assists. And I think Forest is his level. You look at Chelsea, he did struggle, and he's looked really good at Forest, actually. So, yeah, put him in B. Harvey Barnes, now, there's a lot on Harvey Barnes, unless obviously Newcastle sign a winger, but Harvey Barnes is going to be the guy taking over and getting most of those minutes. And I think that's something that he would have wanted, you know. Gordon, when he was there, was getting the large chunk of the minutes, and you know, Harvey Barnes was getting inconsistent minutes. Now with Gordon being gone, Harvey Barnes will get, as I said, most of the minutes. He's an alright player, Harvey Barnes. Would you say he's had chances, but has he had a consistent run in that team? Probably not. I think now's the best chance for him under the new manager. So, but I'm going to put him at B. Talby from Sunderland, I'm going to put in B as well. He's an alright winger. And then Matthias Tell, D. If I'm looking at poor signing from Spurs, Tell was one of them. United dodged a bullet signing him, to be honest. He was someone that was linked with them before he went to Spurs. I don't think he's the greatest signing. You know, hasn't really got the end product. They're quite inconsistent for them. But listen, that is my left winger ranking. Let me know your thoughts, whether you agree. Any players that I should change, and who do you think is the best winger? For me, it's Jeremy Doku. But yeah, thanks for watching.